Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for another video. Don't forget, if you like what we do, support us by joining us on Patreon. Welcome back. So depending on how you want to look at this, it could be a heavyweight fight or a middleweight fight to be more accurate, or you could say, Tamer, what the heck are you doing comparing the GOAT mid-level Venom Shock to a urethane Rubicon UC3? Spoiler alert, I'm here to tell you that there is a good reason these two balls compare. Now let's start with the Motiv Venom Shock. As you know by now, for a long time I found no personal use for it, but as my physical game changed, it became the no-brainer in my bag that others had. And when this ball's fresh, it's a beast. The 4000 out of box actually feels grittier than that. It's a strong cover on a medium weak even core. A fresh Venom Shock is a decent bit stronger than the Rubicon UC3. However, it's really when the Venom Shock gets some games on it and it starts to go a little longer and a bit less back end overall that the comparison starts to make sense. Most bowlers have the Venom Shock for a good amount of time and it settles. The ball is a really good mid-control ball in the bag, kind of that benchmark. Core's a little weaker than I like in that spot, and it does make it a bit later and a touch snappier again for that particular spot, but you can easily mess around with the surface to modify it. I don't want to wax on about the Venom Shock since I did a full review of that. It's really when you start to throw the Roto Grip Rubicon UC3, you start to wonder, where the heck does this ball fit? It is not weak enough to be at the bottom of your arsenal like many urethane balls. You could put it theoretically in the specialty part of the bag, but to me, it actually fits in another category much more clearly. The Rubicon UC3, despite being a so-called urethane ball, clearly fits in the mid-control part of the bag, at least for me. It's a touch earlier and smoother than the Venom Shock, so there's certainly a distinction. However, their respective formulas seem to bring them closer to each other than you would think and ultimately kind of fit them in the same category. The Venom Shock uses a stronger cover plus a medium, weaker, even core as I mentioned, which means the cover controls the lane and the core doesn't try to do anything crazy, so you get predictability down lane. With the Rubicon UC3, it's technically the other way around, a weaker cover with a strong core, but in this case, the surface on the weaker cover creates a balance added to the stronger core where you get control in the mid lane and control and evenness in the back end due to the urethane nature. While they may look different here on the video, especially on the house shot, I've used both balls on medium and longer sport patterns and they both work surprisingly well. I would have never thought for my game a supposed urethane anything would be useful on, say, a 43-foot Earl Anthony pattern, for example, but it turned out to be the answer I needed on that particular night. Bottom line, I choose between them on any given night in terms of which mid-control ball I want in the bag. The choice is typically based on the general shape I'm leaning towards that I want in a bag for that particular night overall. It's strange to have to make this choice, isn't it? You know, I figured I'd leave you with that to think about for yourself.